Now, Wayne was just asking me about things we did 20, 30 years ago that we can't do today. Well, there's a lot of things we can't do today. We used to have the old oak leaf machines. That was the original F&I computer. Wang, oak leaf, and I forget the other one. There's 3 of them. And the oak leaf computer had a white dot. And a green screen, and you turn that white dot on, that white dot would hover in the center of the screen, and all of a sudden it would turn into a payment. So I got a customer in there that had admittedly challenged credit. Now, we used to call people with bad credit bad names. Yes, bogues, drecks, roaches, credit criminals, get-me-dones, bandits. I mean, we don't do that anymore. They're credit challenged, equity impaired. Yeah. Credit challenged, equity impaired, right? Well, this particular customer, I'll just say his name was William. William was credit challenged. And that white dot in the center of the oak leaf machine would take about 45 seconds and turn into a payment. I mean, that's how long it took. So William comes in, what's my payment? What's my interest rate? Well, William, I haven't looked yet. Ford Credit's got a white dot right here on the screen, and just watch that white dot and it'll turn into your payment. So I got William looking at the white dot. And the payment comes up $545, which was a lot. I can't afford that. Now, William, the people at Ford Credit have college educations into knowing what you can afford. That wouldn't be on the screen if you couldn't afford it. Well, they're wrong. I can't afford that payment. They're wrong. Now, William, I'll double check. Let me call over there. And I'm calling the women in the back office at the dealership. Hello, Miss Jenkins, Jim Ziegler, Banner Ford. Ziegler, you screwing with another customer? I ain't got time for this crap. Yes, ma'am, my family's doing real well. Thank you for asking. Look, I'm on screen number 6, port number 8, William Johnson. Yes, ma'am, you got it, William Johnson, port. I'm gonna put you right in the computer. So I put the phone on hold. I lean over to the air vent on the side of the computer. Okay, Miss Jenkins, William says you miscomputed his payment. Now, I know, but look, let's recompute it. Okay, William, she's recomputing your payment. Watch the white dot. $540. She's wrong. Tell her she's wrong. I can't afford that. Miss Jenkins, I don't want to put you through one more time. William says you have miscalculated his payment. Okay, William, sit tight. Watch the white dot. She's working on it. $545. He jumps up and he said, look, bitch, I said I cannot afford that payment. I said, that's a lady you're talking to. Then he apologized to the air vent. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. So I go back over the air vent and I said, listen, Miss Jenkins, William is a nice man. Let's try to get his payment down a little bit. Now, the old oak leaf machine had a button on the side that said plus 0.5%, minus 0.5%. So I hit the minus 0.5% twice. So the loan went down a full percent. Now, William, she's working with you. You behave yourself. There, white dot. $530. I can afford that. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I can afford that. I said, Miss Jenkins, William's been a real good sport. Let's give him a service contract and some credit insurance.
Back in there.
No, it was already in the 530.
Back in there. It's a fully protected payment
Now,
plan.
granted, you cannot do that today. That would be completely against the rules today, but it was something we did do. Page 98, Special Finance. Now, one thing about when you're talking to a customer that has poor credit, never apologize to them because they have poor credit. I mean, be respectful. These are human beings. Some of them are good people that had some bad breaks. But we have a problem in dealerships today. Now, do you have any bad credit in your store?
Most of them.
How about you, Pete?
Yeah, we get some.
You got some?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not Russellville, Arkansas.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have any good credit? Yeah. His store, 547 is a Citizen.
We get excited.
Get excited. So anyway, like I said, we got a problem today with credit challenged people. We have customers I call BWAs, bogues with attitudes. Have you met some of those guys? Here's how it goes. Look, pal, I'm trying to help you. But please, lose that attitude. I personally didn't buy all this shit you didn't pay for. It wasn't me. Bogues have a definite entitlement philosophy today, right? Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on special finance. Next 15 minutes, I'm going to talk about if 60% of customers. Now, I wrote this book originally in 2005. That statistic has changed favorably a lot more since then. But in 2005, when the economy was starting to go south, 68% of consumers had bad credit. And lenders are turning down more than 30% of all applications. Good people with bad credit, that's the people I'm looking for, people that had circumstances beyond their control. I mean, I've never seen a credit challenged customer that called themselves a bogue, right? They're victims of circumstances. You know, something happened to them beyond their control, and that's many times legitimate. Something did happen beyond their control. Subprime financing. And, you know, the buy here, pay here was the only way they could go for years and years and years. So we're out of the buy here, pay here business now. I mean, one thing I'm telling dealers, if the average car is sold 4 times in its lifetime, say the average car has 4 different owners in the life of that car. The dealer that sold the car the last time made more money than the dealers that sold the car the first 3 times put together. You follow what I'm saying? Think about that. That piece of junk made more net gross than the first 3 sales of the car. So I'm telling dealers you need to carry some of that merchandise you're wholesaling away. You need to put some of that merchandise on your back lot and have a special finance bullpen back there of cars that are like that. You know, rather than sell them to a wholesaler that's going to make, you know, 4,000 front. You know, so start keeping some of these cars. I was working with Bone Brothers Toyota in New Orleans, Louisiana in the 90s. And they have a lot of challenged credit, especially in the West Bank of New Orleans. So I told our car buyer, and I have a lot of authority when I consult a dealership. I have as much authority in most dealerships as the general manager when I'm working with a store. So I told our used car buyer I wanted him to go to the auction and buy a whole truckload of Plymouth Acclaims. He said, Mr. Ziegler, this is a Toyota store. We don't stock Plymouth Acclaims. I said, we do now. I want you to go to the auction and buy me a whole truckload of Plymouth Acclaims. Now, everybody remember Plymouth Acclaim, one of the crappiest cars ever built. Remember that? I want a whole truckload of them. We put them on the back lot. And the reason we bought the Plymouth Acclaims is because they booked high and you could buy them cheap. We could buy those cars for $4,000 and they booked for $12,000. And special finance works on what the car books for. So every one of those cars was a natural special finance home run. So when you're doing special financing, you need to have special finance inventory. Cars that book high and you can buy cheap. You need to track what they're going for at the auction or V-Auto. Find out what they're going for and what you have to pay for them versus what they'll advance on them. And a lot of people don't think that way. What can I buy? What can I buy low that books high? Now, special finance is not about selling; it's about marketing. You know, you don't have to really sell special finance. These people are not as captive as they once were. I say I got BWAs; they bogues with attitudes. But all in all, they're human beings and they have feelings, and you got to treat them that way. You're not going to hammer them into an automobile. You got to treat them like people. That a lot of them did have circumstances beyond our control. I was a bogue myself for years. When I was driving that buy here, pay here car, that was total humiliation. You know, I mean, but it taught me a lot. I knew all the bogue tricks. You know, so it's a backward sale process. You generally check their financing and then show them the car they can buy. That make good sense?